It's another week and it's another Celtic Youth Academy and Loan Updates video. My name's Josh McCafferty and welcome along to the Celtic here YouTube and Spotify channels for this latest video. Throughout the week when there are no videos, this is a weekly series, you can check out my account on Twitter, Celtic Youth and Loan Updates at CelticYL Updates. And for not just loan and academy news, but everything regarding Celtic, you check out celtsarhere.com for all the latest news and articles. So let's get cracking then. As always, we're going to start down south in England where Celtic have 3 players out on loan and they've all played over the past week, starting with Liam Shaw. He's obviously Sean Maloney's Wigan, who just celebrated a year in charge of the Latics at the weekend. Firstly, they had the game last Wednesday at home to Wycombe where they won thanks to a last minute winner, Liam Shaw, come off the bench for the closing stages of that one. Then they played at the weekend against Stevenage and lost by 3-2. Shaw started in that one and played just over an hour, but no notable involvements in those 2 games. Next up, also down in England in League One, is Bosun Lawal. He played 90 minutes yet again for Fleetwood against Wycombe Wanderers at the weekend. They drew 2 each, and he was playing a sort of number 6 role. Charlie Adams at the helm at Fleetwood, as we know, and he's implementing a 3-4-3 formation type thing, and Lawal seems to be playing in a holding midfield role, which is quite interesting. He's been used in an array of positions down there this season, centre half, right back and defensive midfield, so yet another 90 minutes in the tank for him at the weekend. Finally, down south is Sead Haksabanovic. Now there's a bit of an ex-Glasgow derby from the 2022-23 season link-up here as Stoke travelled to the Stadium of Light to take on Michael Beale's Sunderland. Haksabanovic started in this one after being benched last week. He played into the 60th minute, but his Stoke team lost by 3-1. Moving back up north of the border, and there were quite a few Celtic loanees in action. We're going to start with probably the one that a lot of people are very interested in, Quan. He started yet again for St Mirren as they took on Rangers in Saturday's early kick-off in the Scottish Premiership. Despite losing the match 1-0, St Mirren, Quan was pretty impressive, putting some nice tackles in the middle of the park, once again looking to run the game in midfield like he did against Queen of the South last week, and he could have had 2 goals to his name. St Mirren had quite a few chances in this one and were rather unfortunate not to come away with a point. Quan in the first half, the ball came to him in the edge of the box after a St Mirren attack, and he went for it with his side foot, flashed way over the bar, but if he goes for it with his volley and his laces, a kind of Scott Brown against Hapoel Beersheva type strike, then there's a good chance it could have hit the back of the net. Then a couple of minutes after this, he had another shot on the half turn on the edge of the box, and it caused Jack Butland a bit of bother. He had to save it low at the bottom corner. Quan then was subbed off in the 72nd minute, but another positive performance in him for Paisley. His loan spell is going pretty well so far. Also in the Scottish Premiership, we would have seen Adam Montgomery play, but unfortunately he suffered an injury in training for Motherwell last week. This boy can't seem to catch a break. He suffered a hamstring injury and he's going to be out for the next 3 months at Motherwell. He only played 1 match so far to get an assist in the Cup against Alloa Athletic, but the injury comes as a huge blow for him and it's very unfortunate. Moving on further down the division is now Ben Summers played for Dunfermline. Their game was called off last week against Queen's Park, but they were on this weekend as they travelled up to Tannadice against Dundee United. Now Summers started this game, played into the 89th minute in midfield. It was a solid point for the Pars up against the league leaders. Also in the Scottish Championship, there are a few lone boys at Queen's Park. Ben McPherson come on for the last 7 minutes of their 2-1 loss to Scott Brown's there, who started his tenure there with a big win at Hampden. Also on loan at Queen's Park from Celtic is McKenzie. He made his senior debut in football, so that was great to see coming on for the last 20 minutes of the game. It wasn't the result we would have wanted, but he managed to make his debut for the Spiders. So now that we've discussed how the lone boys got on, let's get on to the academy players. Now Celtic, we've had 2 games since we last spoke. Firstly, last Wednesday evening they took on Southampton's under-21s in the Premier League International Cup, which is basically an invitational tournament where youth teams from the Premier League take on foreign sides. Celtic are deemed as one of the foreign sides, so the Premier League teams only play teams outside their country, and the teams outside of England only play the Premier League teams. So far Celtic played West Ham, Chelsea and Brighton. They've not won a game, but they did finally in the last match of the tournament. They defeated Southampton by 3-1. It was a very impressive win, in fact. The Saints did go 1-0 up, but Celtic soon made it 2-1 to them thanks to a double from Lewis Dobby's first goal was kind of tap in after a Stramash on the goal line, but his second was a brilliant finish. Some great work, solo work from Corey Thompson to set up Dobby, who finished into the bottom corner. Then young Mitchell Frame, man who a lot of Celtic fans know from his first team debut against Feyenoord in the Champions League, where he very much impressed. He got the third goal in this one that sealed the match. It was a good touchdown from Sean McCardle, 16-year-old who recently just signed his first professional deal, played it into Frame, who finished into the bottom right corner from the left-hand side of the box. It was a great finish to seal a very good win for Celtic B. They then travelled to Linlithgow Rose at the weekend in the Lowland League. They went 1-0 up thanks to Lenny Agbera. It was a well-worked corner routine. He finished into the roof of the net. Linlithgow Rose made it 1 each, and then they went 2-1 up, but just before the hour mark, Corey Thompson, who got that really good assist against Southampton during the week, made it 2 each, and that's how the game finished. So Celtic B unbeaten in 6 and still undefeated in 2024 so far. So they're on a pretty decent run of form, and it seems as though the likes of Darren D and Stephen McManus are very happy with the boys. They've been putting in a lot of hard work over the course of the season. There's been a lot of transition in the team with players going out on loan, injuries, etc. But they're coming on to form now and doing really well. So the hard work is paying off, which is great to see. So other bits and pieces of news you'll probably want to know. One of them is regarding Roco Vata. Now, Brendan Rodgers confirmed after the game against Buckie Thistle last week that there is the offer of a contract on the table for the player. Now, an Italian journalist, Nicolo Schira, came out and said on Sunday that Vata has been offered a 4-year deal by Celtic, and he will decide whether or not to accept that in the next few days. So that will certainly be interesting to see what happens. He was on the bench for the win over Ross County at the weekend, but didn't get any minutes. The January transfer window deadline is not long away. It's Thursday at 11:30pm. Clubs have to do their business in Scotland by, I would imagine there's probably going to be a few exits from Celtic by then, one's a couple on loan, so certainly do keep your eyes peeled. Keep up to date, CeltsAreHere.com. We will let you know about all the latest Celtic news. You can also check out my channel on Twitter at CelticYL Updates. And that'll keep you up to date as well with the latest news regarding loan and academy boys. But thank you for tuning in to the Celts Are Here channel today. Leave your thoughts on loan and academy boys in the comments section below. Leave a like, subscribe to the channels. Thank you once again for watching, and we'll see you next week.